Mining Your Business podcast is back with another episode about process mining, data science, and advanced business analytics. Now, Jakub, why might you be looking forward to this episode?
Well, one of the things is that it's a Czech company. And guess where I'm from?
Ooh, I can hardly tell. So, Václav, Šlapka, and Martin Kobosil joined us on the podcast to talk about adoption and gamification of process mining at Škoda. Let's get into it.
Dobrý den. I'm not sure whether you're ever noticed based on my English pronunciation, but I'm not English. I'm actually from Czech Republic. Such are today's guests, Václav Šlapka and Martin Kobosil from Škoda Auto, the largest Czech car manufacturer. Let me tell you right away that working on a Czech customer was very strange for me. Imagine that all of your business vocabulary is one language, in my case, English, and then you're asked to do a presentation in a language where you have no idea how things are called. How would you translate like process mining or invoice or conformance checking or even happy path in Czech? It's just ridiculous. And I don't think I've ever been as nervous as I was with the Škoda project when it came to actual workshop in my native language. And maybe a question for you, Patrick. Do you ever have these problems with English and German in terms like the business and technical talks? Do you feel like you are more confident in one than the other?
Oh yeah, it's horrific. I will start a sentence in German and end it in English.
Oh, wow. Yeah, for me, it's like if you were reading this children book where you start the sentence in one language and then you have like a picture of something and you say that in the other language. Like, this is how I feel when talking about process mining in Czech. Anyhow, unlike with our other episodes and guests when we had a duo, we have decided for this episode to, even though we have two guests, to have them one by one. And therefore, we will first hear from the project owner and the data analytics coordinator, Václav Šlapka, and then from the project manager of the project, Martin Kobosil. So, Václav, welcome to Mining Your Business podcast. We are excited to have you here.
Hi. Thank you very much for the invitation. I'm really excited, actually, as well to participate in such a podcast. Actually, I'm really big fan. I'm really big fan of Jakub of one of the Czech podcasts, and also first experience for me. Thanks for the invitation. I hope I will not screw up.
I'm sure you won't, Václav, because knowing you from the project, you always steer the discussion very well, and that's why one of the reasons why we are so excited to have you here is that we just really want you to go all full process mining mode today. That said, could you maybe tell us a bit more about what was your exact role in the project and how did you came in touch with process mining the first time?
It's quite a long history. During the project, before or at the point it started in Škoda, or we started to talk in Škoda, I was in completely different position than I am right now. You could say basically the department I'm leading right now was created thanks to the process mining technology and using Telnis in Škoda General Procurement. Because when we started to talk about the process mining, I was assistant of a head of general procurement. That time it was a position for everything. So every new thing which came, assistant was usually responsible for that. I've taken over this competence with me to the new department, but thanks to the innovation department in Škoda, we were introduced to Telnis and process mining because this quite works well in Škoda, innovation management and innovation. That's what's driving Škoda. So they told us here is something cool which could help you because you are really based on the processes. So this is what you can help you. And that's how we started. We have contacted Telnis. We did few workshops in Škoda. Then there was quite a long time for approval process. The ones who are the listeners who are from big corporations, I'm pretty sure they are aware of that. Everything needs to be approved from a lot of people. So once we did, it was just the start of Corona, and everyone was sitting on the cash that time. So it was quite hard to get the approval of such a I would say, fancy thing from the point of view of the approvers. We tried.
So having this experience, Václav, is there something that you would maybe give as a recommendation to maybe people who are in these roles in other organizations that would love to jump on the train, get the process mining going, but this pushback from approval processes and just from general slowliness of the organization, they just can't get it done. Is there something that you would maybe give them as a recommendation, being in this position yourself, or I think a couple of years actually?
Yeah. When you summarize it, it took us maybe 1 year of the approval process. Some part of a Škoda and most part on a group level. The recommendation from my point of view is just to hold on. It's just because it's really worth it. For me personally, when I was seeing all the processes, all the gremiums, all the approval process that everyone needs to put the finger, thumbs up on it, then it was motivation for me, because that's the potential of process mining. Then you could analyze that too and find out what's why it's so slow and make it faster. So that was also the motivation for me to go and to go further and hold on.
So, in your opinion, what was the main thing holding it back for that whole year? What was the thing where it was stuck?
How do you mean that? What was the thing?
Well, if you say you needed approval for a year, what was the biggest predicament in getting this thing going?
That time we didn't have any kind of onboarding of Celonis on a group, so that was the major issue. There always needs to be agreement or a partnership done between such a company and Volkswagen Group. So that time we didn't have anything like that. And to be really honest, the price was not also helping. But to that, it was not a really big issue. I can imagine that how it would went right now, it will be even harder. The days after the pandemic and with such issues on the market, which is not really predictable, or not even, or maybe less predictable than it was in 2019. So it was really really tough, but I would say right now it will be even tougher.
Maybe a next question would be, so you knew that you wanted to analyze processes, you knew you wanted to do the process mining approach and take the technology that provides you with this. How did you choose about the process you would start with? Because interestingly, I'm just working with an organization where they chose, I would say, very difficult process to start with, and they are having a lot of troubles there. I know that you actually started with procurement. Was there some someone telling you, okay, let's start with something easy, or was there some actual preference to start with procurement because you knew that this is the pain point for you?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The main reason why we have selected purchase to pay process was that we were owners of the process, and usually as it starts, you are at the beginning. You want to do something just for yourself, and that was the reason why we started on purchase to pay. That was point number one. And the second point was that Celonis was already quite keen in the process. And the ordering part of the purchase to pay process and also the invoices are based on SAP. Celonis had many experiences with that. They basically it was not necessary to explain every single column of the data to them. Just hand over the historical data for the proof of concept, and in 4 days that was it, and we got it. So that was also one of the reasons why I have selected purchase to pay process. But to be really honest, we just wanted to have something for us.
Was there something specific that you were trying to see in the process? Because there are different approaches you can take with process mining. You can go into get the clear picture, get the view into end-to-end process. But you can also go in a way that you are actually trying to solve a very specific problem that you are aware of. Which approach did you actually take in Škoda?
One of the approaches in this was because the whole the project was leaded bottom up. We wanted to focus on really details, to go really deep inside of our process, deep inside the data. But on the other hand, we had a great support from the management. So we also wanted to have this. Sorry for the buzzword, the helicopter view on the process. So we needed to hold both, I would say, and. From my point of view, the helicopter view is, I would say, much better for such an overview, because you are aware that there are deviations in the process, but you don't know where exactly, and that this is where we were heading. This is what were our expectations from it.
Mm-hmm. So I know that when we first started actually working together, you already had some defined cases, defined use cases with some value proposition in them. How did you even go about, deciding on what you want to measure? And is this something, was there some exercise before that going into it? Because I know that you just said that you wanted to get this helicopter view, but you also went into some very specifics that you were trying to optimize. And I assume that this was like from let's say that you had some goals as an organization or as a procurement that you tried to reach them, and then just inserted the process mining technology into this overall like a structure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was actually a lot of effort behind it. Before we get in touch, there was many workshops behind where we were trying to find the potential using process mining. I think we went through quite development process because at the very beginning we decided, okay, yeah, our processes are perfect. There is no issue in that. And okay, let's try. Let's try what this is going to bring us. Once we see it, then we were like the meme with surprise Pikachu. We're sitting there and okay, that's cannot be true, right? And the realization phase was really interesting because you could see the motivation of everyone. You could see that yeah, we are seeing the potentials. We are seeing the deviations, that the process is not really good as we expected, and there are plenty of rooms for improvement. And this phase was, from my point of view, one of the most interesting one. And there we organized several workshops with Telnis, also with colleagues from internal consulting companies, which helped us to mine the potential even more. And that was the whole preparation phase. Actually, it was really necessary to do so because, as in the process of approval of such a project in Škoda is based on that you firstly need to identify everything, and then you can go ask for money. So that was with the goal to mine everything which is inside, just based on the historical data. So that was quite a nice process of personal development of everyone involved.
I'm assuming so. I mean, I always find it so interesting that when people come in looking at process mining for the first time, they always have an idea of what is super inefficient in their process and what works super well. But oftentimes they look at the solution and they look at the process graph, and all of a sudden those things are switched, right? Mm-hmm. All the things they thought were going really well are actually not going that well, and all the things that they thought were a problem are just a tiny little bit of a problem. Was that something that your team went through? Did you have your inklings confirmed? Did you confirm your suspicions that some things were going badly?
The example you said, Patrick, is exactly what happened to us too. There were really parts of the process where we were sure that okay, this is happening. We for example knew there is threshold. There are set up the thresholds inside the procurement process in Škoda. So the low value orders, as we call them, they are going automatically. So we were aware that some of our requesters are doing, we are calling that salami tactic. Yeah? They are splitting the request into small ones, so it's going faster. And we were aware that that's happening. But that was just a piece of the iceberg. We did find out that there is much more below, which we are not aware of at all. So exactly what you said, that happened to us too.
One of the most entertaining things for me was actually and you mentioned it, Václav, yourself, and that was the overall motivation and excitement of the users. How did you do that? How the hell did you do that?
Actually, I've asked this question to myself many times, Jakub. I'm not really sure, I would say. Maybe it was just a coincidence that the right people were in the right time, in the right place. One of the reasons, I would say, the core one, was that the whole project was really bottom up. That somebody from the employee side find it that there is something like process mining, and said, okay, it's cool. Let's try it. It's something which could be beneficial not for only me as an employee, but also for the management. And we were pushing that from the very beginning until the end, from the bottom. It's completely different approach than from the top down, which is usual in such corporations like Škoda and Volkswagen.
Yeah. Maybe a next question that's going to be a little switch of gears here. So what also interests me, interestingly, we recorded the episode with Martin before we did the one with you, although you will be the first in the recording. Regardless, we will talk with Martin about the overall project management and how it went. What I want to actually ask you is how is Celonis currently being consumed by the customers, which in this case are the business users, the employees, and how are you incorporating it into your daily routines?
That's something we are proud of. I believe Martin already shared information about the Celonis game, as we are calling it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will not go to the details because I believe he did. But actually, once we were implementing Celonis in 2021. And we were ready in October after 3 or 4 months with you. And everything was ready, everything was set up, so we could go live. I was really afraid that, because I have that experience from the group, that when you implement such a cool tool, everyone is inside their operative job, so inside the daily business, they will not have time and they will not have the motivation to get something new. So usually, and I have that experience from the past, that you implement really cool tool, but nobody's using it. I was really afraid of it because we spent a lot of time and invested a lot of energy to implement such a tool. But I was also afraid that we will spend the money and on the licenses, and nobody will be using it. So I wanted to make sure that we will introduce it in different way, and we were thinking about it, I would say, for 3-4 weeks, and the result was the Celonis game. There was actually huge support from Celonis itself in that, and I believe once we introduce them what we are planning to do, they said, hey, that's cool, can we use that with another customers too? And I'm really proud that we came with this Celonis game, and I believe that is one of the drivers. What I would say, in addition, there is always but, right? With everything, there is always but in life. I think that in one of your episodes, you said that the data are created by users, they are created by people, and at the end, it always ends up with the people. So you can have a really amazing data and process mining tool like Celonis, but when you don't have the people, the executors at the end, then it also doesn't bring you much, right? So for this, after 6 months of using it, I believe the establishment of users is really good. And right now, we gotta think about the execution part. with our users, and that's also going to be part of the game too.
Mm-hmm. So what you was also doing, you started with implementation in procurement, and soon thereafter another department actually jumped on. That was your accounting team. What I'm probably going to ask you is how do you now manage the overall usage? And one of the future episodes that we will be releasing is going to be about Center of Excellence. How are you going to manage this sudden influx of people, new users, and also generally the whole environment? Because obviously it's a lot of work. There are different processes. What are the plans with that now?
Yeah, the center of excellence you mentioned is the key factor there. From my point of view, it's really necessary when you have more, I would say, departments or more processes involved. There must be someone centralized who's going to steer that. In our team, Martin is responsible for. We are calling it Procurement Force Team, as a fancy name for Center of Excellence, but that's the platform. That's the platform we have established for everyone, not only from our department, but from any other department, to come and say, hey, I have an idea of optimizing this or changing this in your systems, what you are using. And their goal, the goal of the platform, goal of the Procurement Force team, and goal of the Martin and other colleagues in the team is to validate that idea, to make sure that okay, this is going to bring something, it's going to save some time or bring us some money. So the center of excellence, as it's called in general, that's the key. And without it, I would believe that we will not be able to connect processes in general procurement and in accounting, even though it's one process, purchase to pay, but completely different databases, and that will be hard to connect without it.
Absolutely. I was wondering now, with this center of excellence and the seeming success of your users really using the tool, I was wondering, how does the management or the upper levels feel about the introduction of this tool? Have they learned something from it as well? And do they see plans of using it further, not just in the procurement part, but also in other aspects, in other departments?
No, thanks for that question. Thanks for that question, really, because that was the second thing I was afraid of. My colleagues, the coordinators and the managers inside the general procurement, they are really responsible people, and I was not sure how they are going to react of process mining when they are going to see the reality of what's happening, because they are basically responsible for optimizing things like that. So we have established, I would say, regular meeting. We are calling that digital fitness. Like you go to the fitness for your body, then you go for fitness for your data analytics skills. And we did that for them too. Actually, they have their own coordinator league. So they are participating on this game too. And there is always a winner every month, which can go for lunch with the head of the department. It's just for fun. Yeah.
Wow.
It's really you could see that there are several ones which are really into it and they see a big potential, and there are other ones which still need some time. So this is also difficult because these managers have full calendar, and they don't really have a time for doing the data analytics. That was one of the point of the digital fitness, because we don't expect the users, we don't expect the managers and the buyers to do really deep dives inside the data, to use the Telnis for a long time during their day. We have the platform for it. And I'm really glad that the managers in general procurement in Škoda are really right now. I have a feeling they are on board it. They see the potential, and right now they are working on execution.
Václav, what would be your, if you could define the next steps for Škoda yourself, where would you go now? Like in terms of Celonis, what would you want to do?
Wow, if
money was no problem.
okay, that's a really good part of the question then. if money would not be the problem and I would be the only one responsible for such a decision, then I think that, my opinion about the data, I think it's one of our last competitive advantages, which is not mined in 100%, because in automotive industry, the industry is quite classical. Um, the competitors, we know each other to the bone. Everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows the technology. Even the new players, for example, like Tesla, we already know everything, what they have in car, how they are building it, and what is inside. So it's really open, it's really transparent. So there will be really hard to find competitive advantage. But with the data, with the processes inside, from my point of view, every single process, not the procurement one, but also in finance department, also in IT, also in production, everything ends with the price of the car, which is for the production. So what is going to cost us to produce one car? Everything ends, every single process ends in this price. And once we will be able to optimize all the processes, we will be able to reduce the costs on the production side. So that means we will make more money, because of course we will not offer the cars cheaper in the market. Just really open sentence, because who would do that? But that's the point. That's where I think the process and data mining can help us. This is one of the last competitive advantages we have.
Wow, very interesting thinking of how to introduce your bottlenecks in data into the final price of the product. Really, really cool. Václav, I would just like to say thank you again for accepting the invitation. It's been a real pleasure. We will now jump onto the second part of the interview with Martin. But before we let you go, Václav, I also wanted to congratulate you on your new addition to the family. So, yeah.
Thanks a lot. I would say thanks a lot, firstly, for the congratulations. It's really a nice feeling to be a father for the second time. And also thank you for invitation. It's a pleasure. I'm really looking forward, and I'm really honest. I'm really looking forward to hear the episode in my car, because I usually listen that when I'm driving somewhere, and I'm really looking forward for the reactions of my family to it. So thanks for the invitation again. It was pleasure, Jakub. It was Patrick, pleasure to meet you. Looking forward.
Well, Václav, I can tell you right away that you will hate your voice, because people always do hate their own voices, but it is what it is. You got to cope with that.
Yeah, Václav, I'm already aware of that. Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Take care. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Then let's go into the second round with Martin Kobosil. Bye-bye. As we said already at the very beginning, we have not one but two guests today in our show. And we thought it would be an entertaining change of pace for you, dear listeners, to do the recording separately this time. So not having the guests speaking at the same time, but, do one by one. Interestingly, we have first done the recording with Martin Kobosil, although in the episode you do hear it as a second one. So hopefully we did a good job and there won't be many overlaps in our discussion. Martin, welcome to our show.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for invitation to me to your podcast. You bring a lot of inspiration to the data mining community, and I'm honored to be part of it.
Oh, wow, that's very nice to hear, Martin. Thank you very much. I already mentioned it when talking with Václav, but what I find crazy about working with a Czech customer is how small Czech Republic actually is. And when we started working on the project together, you and I, Martin, we quickly realized that we both play basketball. And soon thereafter, we also realized that not only we play basketball, but we also played in the same league here in Prague against each other. And yeah, and then for our audience, we kicked Martin's team's butt twice this season. Unfortunately, we also won the league and we advanced to the higher competition. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend any of those games because, I had some business meetings and everything that I just couldn't make it. Yeah, and I'm not going to probably ask Martin to further comment on this because I know how humiliating this is for him. So let's just jump right into our field of expertise. Martin, basketball aside, unless of course you really want to comment on that, how did you end up working on a process mining project?
Yeah, yeah, good story. World is really small, but regarding this data mining project, I am the project manager at the Škoda Auto, general purchasing, and I was hired as an external support to implement the Zeleny software at the purchasing department at Škoda Auto. This is in itself, generally, it's a relatively unique position in the general purchasing because in whole VW group there is no external staff to work in the purchasing. The purchasing process cannot be outsourced by any company. But I don't deal with any business tenders. My job is only to focus to the optimization projects, especially the data mining in the procurement department.
So is process mining just like one of the projects that you work on, or is it something that you solely focus on in all of your agenda?
Yeah, I have many projects, about 10 to care, and I have 3 more project managers to divide these projects into them. But definitely, data mining with the Celonis was my favorite one.
That's very, very good to hear. So let's talk a bit about your role in the project. So what were your tasks in this data mining or process mining project, and what were your daily to-dos there?
Yeah, I can start from the very beginning. The project was unique at Škoda Auto for 2 reasons. The first reason was definitely the speed of the realization, because the Škoda Auto is the largest industrial corporation in our country. Everything here takes off a long time, but the implementation of the Celonis took there the 3 months only, or even over the summer. It was absolutely unprecedented, and I don't think I will experience such a fast implementation of the project here anymore. And this is mainly due to the process end, because you guys implement this, because the process end implement the software for Škoda Auto, and the implementation was divided into 2 parts. The first part was the preparation and installation of the extractor server and data extraction, and it was in compliance of our IT guys. But after this part, my role came, and it took about another month to create the basic cockpit and the first use cases. We cooperated together, and at the end of the summer, after 3 months, we hand over the application into the QA stage to the key users. Then we had another 2 months of fine tuning the use cases and for signals with the key users, and then we hand over the application to the full operation for all users. And the second reason why I think this project is unique in the level of the Škoda Auto is due to the level of the enthusiasm from both sides, from the sides of the Škoda Auto and also from sides of the Celonis respective process end, which support us very much. I think this level of enthusiasm is due to the fact that the whole project was originated from the bottom to top. Yeah, you understand. The employees came with the idea to use the Celonis, to use data mining, and it was not the strategic decision from the company headquarters. And all key users joined to the project voluntary, and there was a good mood all the time.
Yeah. I might have to put some things in the context here. I'm really happy that you're saying that the implementation was fast and everything, but I do remember when we first got in touch, was like 8 months before the project even started, and already at that point of time, there was already a 1.5 year discussion on let's do process mining in Škoda. So there was quite a pushback. It took a long time to get from okay, let's do it until we can actually start doing it. But then I have to say I was also pleasantly surprised with how well it went. So also big thumbs up for you guys.
So Martin, were you involved in this process mining or getting this process mining project? Were you responsible for this right from the start? Like, were you there to initiate this like 1.5 years ago or however many months ago that Jakob was saying? And were you experienced with process mining before that, or how did you get in contact with process mining in the first place?
Yeah, great question. I was hired to this project. So the discussion about this project started 1.5 years before, and this is a typical Škoda process when it comes from the left to the right, from the groove to the bottom. But when we start, it's go very fast. So I come about 6 months before the implementation start, and it was my first experience with these data mining tool. I just work with the databases and something like this, and I ever can mention how simple and how easy data mining can look like.
Martin, big chunk of your work, what I felt like was not only getting in sync with the tool, but also, and most and foremost, was to get involvement of the business users. And I also think that you did a hell of a job there. But how was the initial reception of the tool when you first gave it out to users?
Understand. Yeah, from this content, implementation was easy, but adopting the tool was a new challenge after this. As you say, we wanted, our expectation was, we wanted to maintain the same level of enthusiasm which we find during the implementation. So we offered our employees, the Škoda Auto employees, that the adoption of the projects will be in the form of gamification and based on the voluntariness. So we introduced the tool to everyone. We have a great tool that now please come to our training and we can talk about it. Yeah, this training work like a touch point for us with our buyers, where we are unavailable for our employees, and we show them what Celonis is escapable for. The typical obstacles were where I find with a cooperation with the buyers was that they are afraid to click into the system so as not to break something and so on. They thought that when they receive a signal from the Celonis, they immediately did something wrong on something like this. So the biggest hurdle was to getting our buyers convinced that this is not a repressive tool, but it's something which definitely can help them in their everyday job. So I think this Celonis thinking, I think in this content, the Celonis is also unique because Celonis offer an amazing data mining tool, but in very simple application that everyone will learn how to manage it, how to control it. We never wanted our employees to do some sophisticated deep dive analysis, but with only the few clicks in the Celonis, you can search the right purchasing process, go through it, or do some analysis with the suppliers, with the requesting department, etc. So we want to set this mindset to our buyers, and we are for them in our every week training.
I really like the distinction that you made between the repressiveness of the tool and like the excitement and the pure fact that you should go there, get your answers, get your questions answered. And I think establishing this from the very beginning of the project can make all the difference. That you're not controlling them, you're not trying to repress them, but you're actually trying to help them.
Exactly.
You already mentioned a couple of very interesting things like the gamification. I really want to deep dive into that. Before I do that, however, did the users eventually did you see that they started with this let's say a little fear or a little or I don't want to say resentment, but they were cautious? And did you eventually see the adoption going up and they were like, okay, now I really want to just work on this specific problem only in Celonis and I don't want to go to the old way?
Yeah, I can start with the adoption. Adoption start with something like a big bang because I flew to the entire department with the flyers, calling, "Hey, come into the Celonis. Let's play the Celonis game. It will be very fun." So we present it as a big deal, as a big thing, as something new. I literally talk about the transformation of the purchasing department into the data driving department, and something like so. Everyone could. Every time it was based on the volunteer, but everyone can come into our training. They will got the access into the application, and they can start play the game. and win the beautiful prize. So I think the expectation was that it's something new. I want to check it, and we present it like a fun.
What do you use the tool now for? So there were some use cases and so on. And are the users are now using it to support them on their daily work?
Yeah, it's a good question, because when we calculate the business case was based on use cases. Yeah, the use cases show some problem assess, some strategy, and working on that. But I think today Celonis is most used for the everyday analysis of the vendors, everyday analysis of the process, because it's really simply you can go through, for example, CTM, BTM, small orders which go under your radar to your commodity and something like this. So we have implemented many use cases which we counting a business case based on these use cases. But I think the Celonis is mainly used for everyday analysis, the small analysis to catch the context of my commodity on something like this. So it's perfect that we can manage it through the 60 buyers in our department.
Oh, wow. I had a question regarding the adoption. So what we usually hear, or what we hear a lot of the time, is that business users need the allotted time given to them, right? So they need time to be able to learn the tool. They need time to be then also go into the operative and actually use the tool and kind of clear some of the schedule of all the things they're already doing to be able to use this tool. Now, was there the same type of feedback that you got, and how did you deal with that?
Yeah, the first part, the adoption of the tool, we want to present like a game with the gamification. I can describe it because like any good,
this is something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, because any good time, the rules was defined on the beginning. The motivation was the beautiful prize. So buyers were able to earn some points for their Celonis activity. There was three basic categories for which they went to get the points. The first activity was when they come to our training, they just come inside, they just participate the training and they can earn some first points. They also get more points on this training when they presented their own success story. So we want that the buyer presented to buyer their success, their use with the Celonis on some examples. And I also give them some various tasks from the Celonis. For example, hey, how many POs we have in this quarter and tag, and they're also able to get some extra points on these trainings. The second activity for which points could be obtained was the use of the application. There are some settings, and I can manage how often they open the Celonis, how they logged into the Celonis. And if they logged every week, they receive some extra points for logging. Also for using the signals or etc. And the third activity for which the most points could be obtained were their own suggestions for improving the environment of the Celonis at Škoda, for new use cases, etc. So we tried to motivate them from the very beginning to think about how the application can be used in their common practice. So this was and also as the buyers collected their points, they move into the different areas and they have some fancy names like Brover, Cadet, Warrior, Conqueror, etc. Yeah, it was fun, and I think we go very smoothly through this adoption part of the acquisition.
Sounds like a World of Warcraft to me.
Exactly.
Martin, what level are you now?
I am definitely Conqueror.
Conqueror of Celonis. I gotta say that I really, really like this idea of gamification, and it was actually the first time I saw it at any customer implement it. And I already steal this idea, and I'm trying or testing it out with another customer of mine. So thank you for that, Martin. I'll let you know how it went.
Don't worry.
So just to recap, so this gamification, the main goal was to ease the people into the tool, right?
Exactly.
How did you? So you basically you were saying that they were collecting points for their activity, and you try to get them points for basically anything related to Celonis, right? So did you also like notice then that there are some, you said that you had 60 buyers, and I assume that you have way less licenses to use. Was there also one of the underlying ultimate goals to like distinguish who would be the super user and who would just stay out of the tool? And did you also observe that some people got more motivated than others?
Yeah, first of all, I am very happy that all licenses were where we distribute less than months from the start, from the presentation. So then after that, we start to solve the issue when another new buyers want to use the Celonis. For example, there are some teams, like coordinator teams in our department, which want all the buyers to start using that we can coordinate the work through the Celonis and something like this. So as our head of the purchasing, Mate Galba, said, Celonis is not for all. So there is a process when based on the login strategy. When you are, for example, 3 weeks not logging into the Celonis, you can lose your licenses and new one get it instead of you.
So, question, why gamify this in the first place, right? And can't we just have a simple roadmap where you stick the users into trainings, mandatory trainings, and then you stick them on the tool? Like why gamify in the first place?
Two things. First, we want to maintain the same level of enthusiasm because we really enjoy the implementation phase, and we want to edit and distribute it to our buyers. So I think this gamification was fun. It was something new, and we presented the tool like it's something for fun, something that can help you. It's not the common tool which lay on your computer and nobody use it.
Did you do something like this already beforehand, or is this your first time gamifying this type of rollout?
It was our first try to use gamification in the adoption phase of the project. But I discussed it with some colleagues from the Celonis, which inspired me about this definition. So we in the very beginning we get some points we want to reach, and I think we reach them very well.
Now, looking back, would you do the gamification differently? Would there be some aspects that you would change, or think about, like, looking back, would you change a few things?
Understand, but I think this gamification is one of the highlight of the whole project. So maybe there could be some small changes, but I like the idea, and I am happy that I can experience this strategy.
Maybe last question regarding the gamification before we move on to the next topic. How was the user reception of this idea? How did they enjoy that?
Yeah, they really enjoyed it. So I think we get a good point, and they have some internal fights for the prizes, and because I presented it on the internal meetings and presented the results and highlight the best one, and also they highlight the last one. And hey, you must hurry up because prices are missing. So yeah, it was fine.
What was the prize? You keep telling it. I want to win something, Martin.
Yeah, the first prize was a thermal bottle for tea.
Nice.
And it was branded in Monte Carlo. The Škoda. It was all Škoda prices.
Right.
The second prize was yoga lying
mat.
Yoga mat. Also good for our employees that they can get some practice. The third prize was headphones with the mic, and the last prize was for the winner. There was something like a green cap, which was connected with the conqueror, and it was like a crown for the best one.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And then the ultimate winner just gets to go to Tour de France, which Škoda is sponsor of. I would think I would like to participate in this game. Anyhow, Martin, another topic which comes to my mind, is what happens after the user adoption and after the initial phase of the project. And we will soon have a guest who will talk a lot on this center of excellence, basically establishing the system around it. So we will not go in too much into the depth here, but I wanted to ask you, how do you in Škoda handle this transition from, let's say, the support of consultants, of us, of process end, to a self-help and being capable of handling things mostly on yourself? Because I think this is also a crucial part of every project.
Yeah, our situation in the general procurement at Škoda Auto was specific, is specific in that we have an excellent data analyst in our team. Also, we have a huge support from our management. So gradually, after the work of the process end, when the process end implemented ended, we were already able to take over the entire operation into our hands, and our data analyst now is able to respond to our customers or our employee suggestions, and he can adjust the Celonis at Škoda environment on their own. But nevertheless, we remain in contact with the company process end. After the implementation, we set up a retainer model here. That here is one of the process and gun every week for one day, and they can solve the backlog of the requirements together. But it's something like the maintenance. It's we don't build much new use cases, but we want to maintain the current application, and there is a backlog of requirements for them every week.
What I also noticed at some point that you were writing quite an extensive documentation, and although I hate writing documentation, I can totally see the upsides of having that. What did you document there? What did you write?
Yeah, that's also what I discussed from the very beginning. The Škoda Auto is the largest industrial corporate here, and all projects need a lot of documentation. But we go through this documentation with the support of the process end, and there was no problem. Just need to write it down, and it start from the definition of the use cases, which money we expected that this solution will come, and also there are some capitals regarding the support, regarding the server extractor, etc. Yeah, it's just bureaucracy.
Yeah. Martin, maybe also, do you recall of something that didn't go according to plan, that was maybe not a success, and that just you would probably done differently this time in the project?
What would I do differently? Generally, Celonis capabilities exceed my expectation by 1000%. So I had no idea before how easy and effective can data mining look like. There are a number of things what we can do done differently, but on the other hand, it was a great, beautiful learning process from the very beginning. So maybe the only thing I would to do differently is have much higher expectation from the whole software in the very beginning, because if you really need to kick your business, use data mining tool like Celonis and discover your process, because after that there is only one way, and this way is up.
Oh boy, I'm glad that you didn't have those expectations, because I can tell you already that these new features are very hard to implement. So maybe then your experience with our consulting would be a little different than it was now. And it's never evolving. So Martin, maybe last question before we let you go. Where would you like to be heading now? So you have established, I would say, very strong base in procurement. There is also an initiative in accounts payable in your organization. Where do you want to take your team next?
Now, my ambition is high. Definitely, I want to transfer this purchasing department into the data-driven procurement. And we start with the Celonis, and it was an amazing experience. But the next steps will be to establish these P2P process which have now, and it could be a very painful way, because if you want to change processes, it's quite very difficult. But thanks to the Celonis, we can do a lot of things now proactively. because before this department works like non-proactively. We just sit on our chairs and waiting what will come from our requester. Now we have tool and we can do many things proactively, but the process is not established for this because we also need the partner from the request department, and we cannot start on our own base only on the data analysis. So this changing the P2P established process will be the biggest painful way what we want to go now.
Very well said. I'm excited to, had the opportunity to participate on the project. I also want to thank you for coming here and join us in this episode to actually be able to tell the story to other listeners who might find some inspiration in this, especially with the part that you handle the adoption, which again, for me, that was also a huge learning curve. And as I said, I'm using it now myself.
Yeah.
So big praise to you, Martin. Thank you for that.
Thank you, and I'm honored to be part of your podcast. Thank you, guys.
All right. So thank you for coming, Martin. For you, dear listeners, thank you for joining and tuning into Mining Your Business podcast. We are very happy to have you. If you have any questions, just write us on LinkedIn. We are always there, always active, always posting some super fun, super duper posts on, on our page. We are also very active commenting there. So just reach out. We are always happy to hear from you. If you want, you can also drop us an email on miningyourbusinesspodcast@gmail.com and, tune in with the next episode. Thank you for listening. Patrick, Martin, thank you for joining today and have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.